Hello and welcome to another insightful episode of The Boundary Line. My name is Khatliso Lorato and I am your co-host. It is always a great pleasure bringing you this episode, man. And today we are wrapping up the bilateral T20 series that was, of course, it was South Africa versus New Zealand. And boy, oh boy, it was one of those series that I was asking myself, do we need it? But now I have a different perspective. Without wasting any time, let me welcome my co-host, Mr. Bakampale. Hello, sir.
Hello, Mr. Olerato. Thank you very much for having me, man. Yeah, and it's a pleasure to be back again. And yeah, let's give people what they want.
We had five debutants in final leading to this bilateral T20 series. We had Jordan Herman, Connor Esterhuizen, Dian Forrester, Ngobano Mokwena, and Prinalab Subrayan. We saw what happened. Just give me your overall views. What the impression did those debutants made, on you?
Oh yeah, man, most definitely. They went there, and then, quite frankly, they performed well, and you know, at the end of the day, Connor Esterhuizen became the top run scorer in the series, which tells you that some people just grab that opportunity when given that, and then yeah, I think his knocks, especially the final one on the fifth and the final T20,
Yes.
I think that was our somewhat a match winning knock because
No.
we were tied and it was a tiebreaker. So yeah, man, cool coming collected. This 75 came in very handy. And yeah, and then Ngobani came in there, man. And I mean, for me, um, the young lad was continuing from what he showed us that he's capable of during the SA20, and then he was called into this bilateral series away to New Zealand. Man, the boy came in there and then grabbed this opportunity with both hands, man. He out some great deal of deliveries, man, which I was very impressed with. Very impressed with. Subrian is not new to the international scene. It's just that it's one of those that we are used to him. Man, his capabilities. You must ask the Australians what they did to him. You must ask the Australians. They were talking about your degrees. They say he was chatting. So yeah, man, that's one talented lad there.
Yes.
Um, yeah, man, and your Herman, I guess it was one of those fair performance, not really um into it, but it's not someone you can overlook in the future, man. You know what I mean? So impactful player, it was Connor and Ngobani. Unfortunately, he was he was taken aback
That
or taken off in this other matches. So yeah, only the coach understands why. So we wouldn't want to
it's
question that a lot.
it totally doesn't make sense to me, Mr. Bakampala. I mean, the first game the guy took 3 wickets. The second game he was the most economical bowler, and the third wicket he was the top scorer. Then the next two games you are taking him off. Like it really didn't make sense to me. But like you said, as our coach has a way of doing things, man, that I don't agree with. But it will have been nice to see him playing those full 5 matches, those 5 innings. I think he will have been the player of the season. But I think he did manage to introduce himself. Now the world understand and know that there is a young boy called Ngobane Mokoena. Unfortunately, Jordan Herman was injured, and then they had to bring in Vian Mulder. This is the guy, after not opting to break that Brian Lara's record. He only scored 178 runs in 13 international innings. How much do we need to see, from this guy, Mr. Pale? And also juxtapose that with Tony Dizzozi. He didn't have a great a series. And the question that I will keep on asking is, why are we trying to turn Tony Dizzozi into a T20 player? Because I believe he's not. And sometimes it is fine, to have a player that plays, a certain format and, they don't excel. I mean, we accepted that Themba Bavuma is not a T20 player. And I think it's about time that we accept that Tony Dizzozi is not a T20 player. I mean, on the first game, he scored 2, the second one, the third 15, the fourth 23, and the last one 12. That was not impactful, not given the experience, the international experience that he has.
No, definitely. Excuse me. Definitely, man. Yeah, it's one of those tough ones. So let me start off with our coach's favorite son that he was called in to replace Julian Herman, and he was forced into opening the betting. And
That was wise.
Look, man, I don't wanna lie to you. Like, they are forcing his all rounder thingy. Okay, bowling wise, I don't have a problem with him, but as an opener, no ways. As a batter, really, outright batter, I do not agree with the coach's decision in that. And more, and now, worst of it all, he takes him up and goes into open. Man, no, I really do not agree with that. You've just gave us the stats of what are his numbers in the T20I thingy. Man, sometimes you just wish that every player had their favorite coach who would push them no matter what, whether people agree or not. But in all honesty, if the coach has to try out some things, do not overdo it. I'm not saying Coach Chooks shouldn't try around a few things here and there, but all we are saying is that he's just moving that guy to a position whereby
we've seen enough.
we clearly can see that it's not.
Yeah. 13 innings, Mr. Pale. I believe that we've seen enough. And you know what the weirdest thing about this whole thing? Because I think for me, the option should have been Matthew Bretzkee. He's a gun player when it's come to ODI, and I believe that in T20 he can do as well. And if we are going out trying things, I think we should try that. But for me, the weirdest thing was that I read an article about 2 days back when he said that our convener of selector did say that he doesn't see him playing T20 for us, and even his place, in ODI is not even secured. And I was like, what are we doing here, man? Like, get out of here.
Man, it's one of those. You ask yourself as to say, how many times should a player prove themselves to say, okay, I'm deserving of a spot? And funny enough, Matthew is not an outspoken individual, so whatever speaks for him, it's what he does on the field of play. And we've all seen that. I mean, he came in, set a record that I don't think it
will take years
it was something
to be broken.
Yeah, something that would really take years for someone to emulate it. You understand? So, and someone comes and tells you that, someone who doesn't play cricket, by the way, and let's leave that part. It was just an angry statement. But when I say someone who clearly shows that he is against you. Because he's been playing very well. Like, he's been playing very well. So for you to say his place is not guaranteed, man, it doesn't make sense. It really doesn't make sense. So we are going back to that favoritism type of stories and whatnot, which are gonna bring again the Proteas they're gonna take a step back again because I mean the World Cup is just around the corner, and
Yes.
we really need to have Matthew at his best. We really need
Mm.
to have players at their best. But here we are talking about players' spaces not being secured or not being sure on the thingy. Yet we have
Unprovoked.
brought other players who really are not giving us what we need, but
Mm.
their place is well unsecured.
I feel like that statement was so unprovoked, man. You can't like how did we arrive? Or how did he arrive at that statement? Because you are sitting here with a player that we believe should have replaced Jordan Herman. You took someone who failed in 13 innings, and then what does that do to the confidence of a player? You are destroying a player, man. Just imagine you playing, with that thing lingering in your mind. You're not being considered for the T20, even the game that you excel or the format that you excel in it, you are not even secure. With months to go before the World Cup that will be hosting our country, I think we should be able to call out things for who they are, man. That's bullshit, and I will put it there. One of the
Absolutely.
Yes, one of the positives of this T20 bilateral series, Pale, was the Karate Kids. Gerald Coetzee, he came, it's a leading wicket taker with 8, but the most important thing for me is that he was bowling at that 143 kilometers per hour again. And I was like, oh, okay,
Mm.
the beast is unleashed here.
Bro, bro, I guess he just needed this opportunity, man. It was refreshing to see the boy all pumped
Mm,
up, running in, all positive, man. Because if you all remember that he's plagued with injuries, never-ending injuries. So he's
yes.
here one game, one moment he's out injured. But yeah, man, I guess he didn't let that put him back. He just came in and gave us positive cricket, and it repaid him, man. He was bowling those gun deliveries, man. You ask yourself, whoa,
Yeah.
even corner at some point you ask yourself, "Rah, when did it arrive? It just threw and it was refreshing to see, man. It was refreshing to see, to be quite honest, and
Yeah.
yeah, man, kudos to him, kudos to him,
Yeah.
honestly. So we clearly have something to work on, and
Yes.
I guess if there's other positives. I guess he had to come in because I mean
Mm.
the first three games in G it was a disaster for us. I never thought that we'll win this tour with the type of play that we had. But yeah, the boys kind of pulled it off, and here we are, man.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been another exciting episode of The Boundary Line. Thank you so much for watching. I will leave the subscribe and comment to the usual suspect, Mr. Bakampale.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much, man. Thank you very much, Mr. Olerato. It's been a great one.
Mm,
So hopefully our people will keep the interaction going on there on the comment section. So we need them to interact with us, give us their thought,
mm,
praise us, criticize us. We all about that. I mean, if there's anything growth, it needs to have both of those elements. You know what I mean? So yeah, we are prepared to receive any kind of encouragement or positive criticism. Yeah, man. So, but let's keep on subscribing. Let's keep on clicking that like button. Let's keep on commenting, man. It would mean a lot to us in terms of growth as well of our channel.
mm.
Yeah, man. Looking forward to that, man. Thank you very much. Peace.
Peace.